So for someone like you, what are your predictions or what did you see? Because I've seen the AI, like I'm still in that title, AI revolution. I heard you typed it somewhere, but the AI revolution, where do you see it? Maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. Before you answer that question, one thing that a lot of folks were talking about was they were saying that places like Google were going to penalizing folks for using AI, and now flip it. 6 months from now, Google has come out with their own AI type of tool for Google. So where do you see AI, or what are your predictions for the next 6, 12, or 24 months?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know like where anything is going in the next 6, 12 months, much less something that is changing so fast. And I think that to start with that, like understanding is that so much is going to happen at such a fast pace right now. It's going to be so easy to get overwhelmed that the more and more people that are coming in over the next year or so and just getting introduced to this idea and are rightfully like overwhelmed and are scared in a lot of cases about what this is going to mean for just where we're going to be growing as humankind is learning how to a lot of people are going to get left in the dust if they don't keep up with the speed, and that's just I think that's just the truth in the matter. People are going to lose jobs because AI is replacing certain things that people have done, just as technology replaced stuff that humans have done since we've been expanding and building new technologies. And with what AI is doing, though, is it's giving us the ability to collaborate with something and think in a way. And I think that the people that are going to succeed with this are the ones that are going to understand how to literally like think and talk to AIs, whether it's a conversational AI and you're working with a tool like Jasper, or if you're learning how to build and create your own models around this stuff, is these skill sets and these understandings are something that we can increase with our ability to learn, to practice, to hone a skill set, and to enhance our ability to think about how to write and how to create. And as a result of thinking and improving how, like, pushing ourselves to really level up on like the thought process type of things, because we're going to have to be smarter at thinking about how to work with these tools. But by doing that and approaching these tools in that collaborative way and putting ourselves in ways that we can come up with more good ideas, right? Ideas are going to be everything. Just because you can generate an idea doesn't mean that you can either execute on it, right? And so you're going from creating an idea and researching and actually like curating good content, because the content that you're going to get from these AIs, no matter how much smarter the models are going to be getting, is you still need to bring in your own human touch, your own human perspective and your own direction with it. And now, because it's not taking us 10 times the length it would take to write just a blog post, even, we can reallocate our resources to other things that are actually going to matter more now, because now we have the capability in working with these tools to do that. Editing is going to be a huge focus on coming into the seat of now you're like the chief editor in charge, and you've got these AIs to do this first drafts, and you've got your writers that are utilizing them so they're putting out better content faster. You still need a human editor to come in and make sure that it hits all the points, that you're sourcing the right articles, that you've got the right people coming in that you're interviewing, that is bringing new valuable information to your audience. Because again, like, you're going to get penalized if you're just putting out junk content, as Google has always penalized people putting out junk content. And like, Google is not like saying like we hate AI. They're saying like we don't want you to put out content that's just going to spam people and not be relevant or useful. So if you're using these tools to create utility and add value, then you're going to succeed. But you also need to understand that over the next 6 months, especially if you're just getting into AI right now, is that there is going to be a learning curve, and it is going to feel often very overwhelming in starting. But understand that with all of that, that just like any skill set, this like any ability that you're working on improving over time, is you got to practice. And I think specific types of practice, especially with writing a blog, an email, a book, a course, if you want to create something with these tools, just because you can create everything in the world with this doesn't mean you should. And so start by like just really focusing on what's one thing that I can do, or that you are doing right now in your workflow. And if you don't have an idea of what your workflow is for doing any sort of content, you need to figure out what that workflow is first without AI. Then once you know what your workflow is without AI, you can identify, okay, like maybe where am I spending more time? Is it coming up with ideas? Is it writing introductions? Is it writing blurbs for my podcast? Is it breaking down content? And really taking the time to audit your process so that once you've audited what you're already doing, you can then go and identify the right tools that can help streamline that process a little bit more effectively. And I think as a result of that, so many entrepreneurs in the space are going to develop some really cool products because you're going to have the ability to leverage these tools that are way more powerful than what we could have anytime prior. I've seen people talking about like the one person, like solopreneur style, like one or two people like working in a business, for when you used to need 10. This is going to be a lot more common, and it's going to be automations, like leveraging these different technologies. But at the end of the day, if people don't get your content on the distribution side, then I think that's like the key for like pretty much everything anyways. And so like, again, if you can spend less time just creating content and more time focusing on the editing, the marketing, the distribution of it, getting it in front of more people, then you're focusing on like the levels of exposure for yourself as like a business owner, or having your team do this stuff so that they're freed up and more effectively. And if you just want to put this stuff off to the side, like on the other end of things, and you like, I don't want to adapt to it, then like you're going to get left behind. And I hate to say it, but it's just the reality of the situation is that a lot of people will not be able to keep up with the speed at which this is evolving. And the things that come along with that aren't pretty. And so I think, especially at what we're doing at the AI Author, and like the conversation on the front end of this is, how can we improve our ways of thinking with these tools? How can we understand how to make better choices when working with these tools that lead to better desired outcomes, right? And because if you're still the one in control at the end of the day, at least for now. And so you're the one that's choosing what content to put out and what not to put out. You're the one that's choosing what ideas are good ideas from Jasper's generator, ChatGPT's generator, but it's your choice, right? And it's your choice if you want to type another word or you want to let the AI type another word and then go from there. That's still your choice, right? And so distilling it down to that, it's like improving our abilities to think with these tools and how to think and interact with them is going to be critical. And then from that point, as we think about it, are we making the right choices in terms of what questions to ask, what words to use, and how to direct it in such a way that we're getting the right results that we want? It's going to come down to that. And if you let the AI do the thinking for you, I think we're going to see the dark side of it, because then that's going to start to just take away from the creative side of things. And it's ultimately going to hurt versus help, I think. And that's my take.
What stops a lot of people is they don't know how to do something. So you've mentioned a couple of times some of maybe your personal clients, but if someone wants to learn more on how they can create content or help their content with AI, do you have any? I know you just mentioned your latest book, and then also, do you have any of the programs or tools? What would you say would be the first thing from you that someone could get to help them learn about AI if they're not familiar with it, or take it to the next level if they're just started with it?
Yeah, if you're just interested in learning, our YouTube channel is a great free resource, Author on YouTube. And we have like lots of videos on all sorts of things that you can do with Jasper. And so it's going to give you like a broad approach. You want to just kind of start testing it out, and lots of other ways to search stuff on YouTube. But yeah, our book that we just released last week, Create Content with AI, is on Amazon. And that's like really like a Jasper 101 introduction to how you can use AI to create content, walks you through the entire Jasper, like getting started. Again, we wrote that book before chat was even a thing. And I still recommend Jasper for, especially if you're using it for like business and stuff, and are looking for a lot more like easier to work with templates to get the outcomes you want, rather than just free flowing inside of chat and learning like the prompt engineering super hardcore. But if you get that book is going to show you like a ton of these different recipes and walk you through, say, like going through the Jasper bootcamp as well, to understand again how Jasper thinks, like where, like what to do, what and where. Like, you don't start spending, I would say, at a minimum of an hour or two going through like that book plus the Jasper bootcamp, which is free as well. Again, it's like a $2.99 book on Amazon, the Kindle. That'll give you a really solid, like fundamental understanding of what you're walking into. Now, beyond that, like we have a course called auto scripting, which is a 2-hour like crash course on, okay, now that you Jasper, like here's how you really like take it to the next level through some really specific visual demonstrations. So we show like how to create like a mini video sales letter. So like for driving leads for an offer that you're wanting to send people to and capture that attention, how to use it for Twitter threads or like really short form content like TikToks. things like that, to writing books, to chapters, to like using that same sort of recipe, we call it. They're kind of pre-built workflows. Again, so if you're looking to invest like the time, I recommend literally everybody. We're doing a course with UC Berkeley, literally live right now. Week 1 was exactly what I just told you. I go through these process here, like dedicate 5 hours of time in 1 week and chop it up over a few days, right?
Wait a
Start
minute.
getting into it.
Wait a minute. You just bypassed that. That was no big deal. Can you say again where you're doing? You just like that's nothing. Like, okay, everybody, where you
Yeah,
see
so
who?
UC Berkeley, we're doing a course with their makers program this semester. It's a pilot for using AI in education and where does it apply in terms of writing, marketing, education, and sales. So it's an 8-week course that we're doing right now.
That's a big deal, Darby. That's a big deal. Congratulations, and you deserve it. I
Thank
had to
you.
stop you because I did not want that to go any further without. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal, and you deserve it. So I'm sorry for interrupting you, but when I heard that, I said I got to stop.